Uh, Hello, everybody. Welcome back to English class. Today we will discuss the poem Punishment in Kindergarten written by Kamala Das. It's one of the beautiful poems of Kamala Das, autobiographical in nature. She remembers, recalls her own childhood experiences. So during her kindergarten age, she was scolded by a teacher, and the hurt that she had experienced during those days, the effect of it is still there, though she repeatedly says that I am a grown up lady, and so I can easily forget them, but it has its own lasting effect. So here Kamala Das in her Punishment in Kindergarten, she talks about the childhood experiences. As you all are aware that childhood experiences, if you have a good childhood experiences, a pleasurable childhood experiences, naturally you grow fine. So psychologists will say that if you enjoy happy childhood, then certainly your adulthood will be good. So it has a lasting impact on your future also. So everybody see has experience of going to school, and we may have different experiences. So during your school days, you enjoyed so many good things. You had happy moments, you had sad moments. You lived in groups. You were all sometimes felt lonely. So likewise, whether you are a introvert, whether you are extrovert, you might have been scolded by your teacher. Then remember, how did you take, or whether you have taken it easily, whether you have taken it in a right way, and what is the impact of it. Sometimes when the teacher scolds, we take things very serious, and we can change our behavior also. Sometimes you get hurt and develop a negative sense, and that also has a very bad influence on your adulthood or adulthood and later life also. So all these experiences everybody undergoes during their childhood days. So here Kamala Das was narrating about one of her early childhood days where she had an unpleasant experience, and that really made her uneasy, and the feelings of that incident was still haunting her. So the childhood experiences are very, very important. So let us go to the poem. With this background, we will go to the poem. So let me share my screen. Excuse me. Yeah, welcome. Welcome to the Department of English. The title is Punishment in Kindergarten, written by Kamala Das. Let us know some details about the author first. So the author Kamala Das lived during 1934 to 2009, almost 75 years of happy life she had. And she is the daughter of Balamani Amma, uh, because lot of reference is there in her writings. And she is a Malayali writer, and her pen name was Madhavi Kuti, and she is an English poet of international acclaim, Indian English poet of international acclaim. And she wrote poems, novels, and short stories. All in all her writing, you will find an autobiographical element, and whatever she wrote very candidly expresses the emotional lives of women. She was straightforward. At the same time, the deep feelings of the woman were also she explored in her poetry. and most of her poems are autobiographical in nature. That means from her own autobiography, there are references. And her first work, Summer in Calcutta, was written in the year 1965. The Old Playhouse and other poems were also one of her very good the collection of poems. The My Story is purely autobiographical one, which was written in the year 1976. So in all her writings, we find a sense of identity. The identity of an individual is established through religious and domestic imagery. In that way, Kamala Das has secured her own place among Indian writers of English, and more particularly, she was very outspoken, expresses candidly all the emotions of women. So that's all about author. So a brief introduction about the author. So let us go through the poem, and before going to the poem, the content I have already explained. See, I would like to explain to you. So during her kindergarten age, kindergarten is a school run for the students below 5 years of age. Uh, so when during her kindergarten schooling, she was scolded by the teacher because they all went on a picnic. On a picnic day, they went to the Victorian Gardens at Calcutta, uh, and where the students, all the children were playing, and Kamala Das was she felt somewhat she lonely, and she hid herself at a hedge, and she was not feeling well. Then the teacher observed this and scolded her, "Why not you join with others? So what kind of a peculiar behavior that you are exhibiting?" So this has really hurt Kamala Das, and she was unable to come out of that feeling. So it's all about the introvert pain, and the past and present. Now she was remembering the childhood experiences. Now she is a grown up lady. Adult experience she is having now. So here there is a juxtaposition of past and present. So what is the past? The childhood innocence is see, compared with the adult experience. So as we all aware that children are very innocent, and all our childhood experiences are really funny, though out of innocence we do several things, say unknowingly sometimes we do, and sometimes the hurt feelings will be forever. So that way, the in the poem, Kamala Das just narrates one of her saddest experience during her kindergarten age. But we must be very careful what all she is describing, and how she is expressing herself. As we have already come across that whatever she expresses very clearly. So there is no hidden feeling at all. So let us go through the poem. The very opening lines are: "Today the world is a little more my own. No need to remember the pain. A blue-frocked woman cast, throwing words at me like pots and pans to drain that honey-colored day of peace. Why don't you join the others? What a peculiar child you are." So they all went on a picnic to the gardens, where the children were in excitement, went everywhere, enjoying, playing, and all that. So today the world is a little more my own. Now that was her past experience, that was her childhood experience. But today she is a grown-up lady, and today the world is a little more my own because the world is in my control. That means I am in control of myself. Today the world is a little more my own because I am a grown-up lady having some experience, can understand, can analyze, and all that. So today the world is a little more my own. So I am taking possession of myself. I'm aware what goes inside. I'm also able to see balance my feelings, control my feelings, So that way, she said, today the world is a little more my own. When she was a child, she was unable to handle the emotions. Now she is a grown-up lady. She has learned all these things, handling the emotions, see, analyzing the things, taking things in a positive way. All these she has learned all these years. So today the world is a little more my own, and no need to remember the pain. So she said in the opening lines itself that I don't need to remember the pain. So what was the pain? The pain of being hurt by the teacher. So no need to remember the pain. So now she explains what is the pain here. So what happened? A blue-frocked woman caused throwing words at me like pots and pans to drain that honey-colored day of peace. Why don't you join the others? What a peculiar child. That means a blue-frocked woman caused throwing words at me like pots and pans. Who is that blue-frocked woman? Yeah, hyphenated sentence here you are given. A blue-frocked woman. That woman is nothing but her teacher. Blue frock means she wore a blue frock. So she's not saying that she is our teacher, but she said a blue frocked woman caused. Naturally, whenever you feel unhappy, whenever you don't like somebody, we don't see name them properly. So we say a blue frocked woman caused. See here, the childhood innocence is represented. A blue frocked woman caused. A blue frocked woman is nothing but her own teacher who wore a blue frock and throwing words at me like pots and pans. And she scolded her and she threw words at this girl like pots and pans, as if we are throwing pots and pans whenever there is a fight in the kitchen. Naturally, people will throw pots and pans. That means in utter disgust, people will throw pots and pans to express their say angriness. So likewise, our teacher was throwing pots as if she was throwing pots and pans at her, and she felt that the words of the teacher was so hurting, and that way she considered the words of the teacher as pots and pans, and to drain that honey-colored day of peace. So it was a beautiful day, honey-colored day of peace. It was a peaceful day because they all wanted to have a wonderful time. So they went out on a picnic to enjoy themselves. Everybody is at peace of mind. Then that was a honey-colored day. See, honey means the sweet. Honey-colored day means here is a sweet day. It was a sweet-colored day of peace. So it was very peaceful day. It was a colorful day. It was also a sweet day for her. And what happened, because the teacher started scolding her, it has drained all that happiness away from her. That means it has removed all the happiness away from the girl. So she said words at me like pots and pans to drain that honey colored day of peace. And why don't you join the others? Why don't you join the others? What a peculiar child you are. So what was the words of the child, of the teachers? And the teacher said, why don't you join the others? What a peculiar child you are. So when everybody is playing, when everybody is in good, happy mood, why are you sitting here alone? Why don't you join the others? Why don't you join with other students or other children? And what a peculiar child you are. What kind of child you are? Peculiar means something different. So peculiar, what a peculiar child you are. You seem that you are not see like others. You seem that you are something different. So she said, why don't you join with others? What a peculiar child you are. What a peculiar child you are. So these are the words spoken by the teacher. And this little child, that Kamala Das, considered these words as something, the words as if she was throwing pots and pans at her. So these words really hurt the feelings of Kamala Das, and she felt very uneasy and bad about that. So she did not take them very easily, those words in a right way. So she said, why don't you join the others? What a peculiar child you are. So this is the thing happened. So today the world is a little more my own. No need to remember the pain. A blue-frocked woman cast throwing words at me like pots and pans to drain that honey-colored day of peace. Why don't you join the others? What a peculiar child you are. So here blue-frocked woman is a teacher throwing words like pots and pans. That means whatever the teacher told are not really appealing to her, are not really enjoyable to her. And to drain that, moreover, the words of the teacher have drained the honey from her life. That means the day was very peaceful, it was very colorful, and it was very sweet. And in that particular day, the scolding of the teacher, the words of the teacher really disturbed her peace of mind. So this is the first stanza. We go for the next one. On the lawn in clusters sat my schoolmates sipping sugar cane. They turned and laughed. Children are funny things. They laugh in mid that others' tears. I buried my face in the sun-warmed hedge and smelled the flowers and the pain. So here on the lawn in clusters, clusters means in groups, sat my schoolmates. All her schoolmates sat in groups like clusters on the lawn. And what are they doing? They are sipping sugar cane. They are having the juice of the sugar cane. They are sipping them. So on the lawn in clusters sat my schoolmates sipping sugar cane. They turned and laughed. When the teacher was scolding Kamala Das, then all her classmates, all her schoolmates, they turned back and laughed. That means they were engaged in having sugar cane, sipping sugar cane together in groups. But all of a sudden, when they have heard the voice of the teacher scolding Kamala Das, they all turned to this particular scene and they laughed. So when somebody is scolding, you should be pity enough. But what the children did here, they laughed at the thing. That means the child felt unhappy because one way the teacher scolded her. The second thing is fellow schoolmates laughed at her. So here you look at the innocence of the students, of the young children. So the young children, they are innocent. So when something happened to their own friend, they simply laughed. That does not mean that they are they have an intention of humiliating the lady, humiliating this girl. But in out of innocence, they just laugh. So here the innocence of the children is represented in the sentence. So sat my schoolmates sipping sugar cane, they turned and laughed. And the children are funny things. Now she said, because she is a grown-up lady, now she understood that children are funny things. That means when to laugh, when not to laugh, they are not aware, but they are all funny things. They are not, they don't take things very serious. But if suppose something happens, somebody suffers, they simply laugh. Not with a bad intention, but see, that is the innocence of the children. So children are funny things. They laugh in mirth at others' tears. Mirth is nothing but happiness. They laugh at others' tears. So this is something strange. Why young children laugh at the sorrow, or laugh at the trouble of others, laugh at the difficulty of others? That means when others are weeping, when at others' tears, how did they get a laugh? That how did they enjoy? So that means as children are funny things, they are innocent people. Their intention is not to make fun of, but that is their attitude. So that way, the children laughed at Kamala Das, looking at her. So with the words of the teacher, where the students, the schoolmates sitting in groups, sipping their sugar cane, listening to it, listening to the teacher scolding, they turned and laughed. That also made Kamaladas little uncomfortable, and she felt unhappy also. Now as a grown-up lady, she can say she now understood that children are funny things and they laugh in mirth at others' tears. We don't know the reason, but because of innocence they do. So I buried my face in the sun-warmed hedge and smelled the flowers and the pain. So after taking the humiliation from the teacher, that means insult from the teacher, she buried her face in the sun-warmed hedge because it was a sunny day. Because of the sunlight, the entire hedge was a little warm. Sun-warmed hedge. See, the hedge is nothing but what you call a bushy place, especially on the borders. So she was sitting there and she buried her face in the hands, and it was a sun-warmed day, so sun-warmed hedge. I buried my face in the sun-warmed hedge and smelled the flowers and the pain. I smelled the flowers and the pain. So I smelled the flowers because when she sat in the garden, she normally she I enjoy the beautiful scent of the fragrance of the flowers. So she was smelling the flowers and she was smelling the pain also. What was the pain? The pain inflicted by the teacher. So because the teacher scolded her, she took it very seriously. She took it to her heart and she started weeping, and she buried her face in the hands, and she was sitting by the side of the hedge, and it was sun warm, and she was smelling the flowers and at the same time smelling the pain. See the juxtaposition here. One is a pleasurable experience, the other is a painful experience. So smell the flowers and the pain. She has experienced the pain at heart, but at the same time, she also smelled the flowers. So we are not aware whether the flowers are smelling bad or whether the flowers are smelling a beautiful scent. We don't know. But out of innocence, she felt both of them. That means she smelled the flowers and the pain. So both experiences she was undergoing. So the girl, being she humiliated by the teacher, felt unhappy, and moreover, to add to the misery, what happened? Her own schoolmates turned at her and laughed. That also she caused her to she worry a lot, and because she was unable to balance this, so she buried her face in the buried her face in the hands, and she was sitting at the sun-warmed hedge, and she felt the smell of the flowers and also felt the pain at heart. So both ways, her own senses are very sensible to the scent of the flowers, and within her hearts within, she felt the pain. So it must be a pleasurable day, but unfortunately, because of the scolding of the teacher, she took it very seriously, felt unhappy. So that way, here both the pain and pleasure are compared together. So then what happened? The words are muffled now, the laughing faces only a blur. She was sitting there lonely, and the words are muffled now. Whatever the teacher was speaking and whatever her schoolmates were speaking were now they were in low sound, was unable to hear them properly. The sense of hearing is almost slowly fading away. The words are muffled now. The sense of hearing is slowly going down. Muffled now means I was unable to hear that low sound. The words are muffled now. The laughing faces only a blur. So earlier she looked at the laughing faces of her own schoolmates, but it is now becoming a blur. That means there was no focus at all. She was unable to see them properly because of there is no focus on that. That means slowly these feelings are going away from her. The years have spent along because the pain was with her for a very long time, and slowly she started forgetting that the pain. Those words she started forgetting. Those laughing faces also she started. She not to remember. She started. She forgetting, and the feelings of that particular day was not very clear now. The years have sped along, stopping briefly at beloved halls and moving sadly on. The years have rolled down. The years have sped along, that went long, and stopping briefly at beloved halls and moving sadly on. So briefly, she was halting at that particular situation. She was able to remember them for a short time, and again forgetting, moving ahead, and sadly, whenever she remembers that incident, she felt a little bit sad. But soon she was able to come out of that feelings, and things went on well. So she was moving ahead day by day, and the pain was has been reducing, and but still she was moving on sadly. So now, as a grown-up lady, what she can do? My mind has found an adult peace. What she said is, my mind has found an adult peace. Now she has grown-up lady, and in adulthood, what will happen? People come to know the reasons for each and everything, and now she has understood that whatever teacher said may not be so hurting one, but she has that experience of hurt. She has that feeling of pain within her heart, but as a grown up lady, she has understood the nature of the teachers. So my mind has found an adult peace. No need to remember that picnic day when I lay hidden by a hedge. No need to now today I don't need to remember that picnic day, because that was a sad day, and I need not remember that sad day at all. Today I don't need at all, because I'm a grown up lady. I can understand, and those bad feeling are slowly being faded away. So today it's not that much effect on me. So I need not remember that day. Now I am a grown up lady. During my childhood, when I was innocent girl, I did not take it properly. So that feeling today, I should not continue at all, because I'm a grown-up woman, and also having adult peace. My mind has found an adult peace. So when she was so vividly describing her own experience, and still saying that she was moving sadly on, then it is a big question to all of us whether she is really enjoying the adult peace or not. No need to remember that picnic day when I lay hidden by a hedge. Again, she was just remembering how she had experienced that. See, immediately after she said that my mind has found an adult peace, now she remembers. She remembers so clearly what all happened on that day. That picnic day when I lay hidden by a hedge, watching the steel white sun standing lonely in the sky. Watching, see, she was sitting by the hedge, she hiding her face in her hands, and soon she was watching the steel white sun. Look at the sun in the sky, because it was a very clear day. The sun was shining very brightly, and it was white in color. So white sun, steel white means here she has given a simile here, the steel white sun, and standing lonely in the sky. Look at the stand. It seems that the sun is standing lonely in the sky. That means he was all lonely. Nobody was with her. He has no company at all. So she compared her own situation with the situation of the sun, and she here being insulted by the teacher and being insulted by her own schoolmates. She was all lonely, sitting by the side of the hedge and weeping, and she was in sad mood. Similarly, she was all see lonely here, but it's the same way she could able to see compare herself with the sun. So there are no other suns visible on the sky, only that sun which was white and steel white it was, and the sun also seemed to be lonely standing in the sky. So she compared her situation with the with the sun in the sky. So that way she is able to remember all that happened during her childhood days. So that way, how can we say that she has achieved an adult peace? But that it has a lasting impact on her mind. So, whatever the feelings or whatever incidents or experiences that you have during your early childhood will have lasting impact. If you have a happy childhood, then certainly you will have a happy adulthood also. If you are see away from that, if you have bad memories during your childhood, unhappy childhood, naturally you have to face all those difficulties. So that way, uh, Kamala Das was remembering one of her past experiences, wherein she experienced the uh, sad thing, that is scolding of teacher, and now she has grown up and woman, but still was unable to forget that. So she tried her level best, and she started forgetting, but no, even now also she is able to remember those moments very clearly. So here with lonely sun is used here. When you take alone and lonely, they are not same. Alone maybe it is talk alone gives the meaning of feels connected, and it also talks about content with solitude, and you may have the feelings of happiness. But whereas lonely is nothing but feeling empty and longing for see company, and the feelings of sadness you will experience. So alone is a general term. Uh, Usually we can take it for the positive way, but whereas when you say lonely, it represents either emptiness or longing for the company or feeling of sadness. So that way, if you look at the poem, every word is carefully chosen, and beautiful imagery is given, and hyphenated images are also given, and we also find the juxtaposition of the feelings. So let us go for the imagery. So what kind of imagery is used in the poem? So look at in the first stanza, we come across words like parts and pants. See how words are compared with the things. So parts and pans are thrown in utter angriness. So likewise, words are coming out of the teacher's mouth unknowingly. So they were so harsh, was thrown out, see recklessly. So it happened so. So words like parts and pans. So when you observe the kindergarten system, so the teachers of the kindergarten must be well trained, but unfortunately we don't find many number of say kindergarten teachers. They are well trained and experienced because of say in their innocence, if they do certain things like what happened to the Kamala Das, then certainly they have lasting impact on the lives of the children. So the kindergarten, whenever the teachers are there, should use appropriate language, and at the same time their activity must also uh, be be appropriate. So all the time they should see whatever they speak, whatever they do must not see have a negative impact on the young children. So words like parts and pans is an imagery. The moment when you come across this line, you will remember the parts and pans are coming to your memory, isn't it? So that way, beautiful imagery, simple imagery, but very touching imagery we have seen. Honey colored day of peace. So we look at even in the second stanza, we come across this line, honey colored day of peace. Sorry, in the first stanza itself, honey colored day of the peace. It was a peaceful day, it was a colorful day, and it was a sweet day. Honey colored day of peace. So that means it was a whenever you remember the word honey, the imagery comes to your mind that it is sweet, uh, it can be enjoyable, and all that comes to your mind. So uh, the words, the imagery that she has selected is rightly is very appropriate to the situation. Smell of the pain. See, you can experience the pain in your heart, but how can you experience the smell of the pain? That means you can also experience. I say, a child, she undergone the pain, and she was smelling the beautiful scent has turned into the scent of a pain, isn't it? So the smell of the pain is given as an imagery here. Again, just now we talked about steel white sun standing lonely. So the sun was like a steel white, and the sun was standing lonely. Uh, it is the situation compared to the Kamala Das Kamala Das case. Okay, then we have to also go for these things. No need to remember, but remembers vividly. So she said the childhood experiences are different, and now she is a grown-up lady. There is no need to remember, she said. But at every point, she remembers so vividly, so clearly what happened during her kindergarten time. So everywhere she still remembers such beautiful, such scenarios. That is how the sun was so hot in the sky, and how was the weather, how the day was so peaceful, and all these things she remembers so vividly. Even the pain inflicted by the teacher and the laughing of her own classmates, everything is so very clear. She remembers. So she said, no need to remember, but still remembers all those things. So this is how, when you have an unpleasant experience during your childhood, very difficult to forget. So that means how lasting impact it has on the life is very clear from this text. Then, was adulthood peace really found? She said, as an adult, I really enjoy the peace. Uh, you- is it really happened? Was adulthood peace really found in the poem? For that, the answer is almost no, because we don't find that, because she still remembers her own past days. And still, whenever she remembers her past experiences, she felt a little uncomfortable. But all those vivid memories are with her. So we can't say that she has been enjoying the adulthood piece. So when you look at the rhyme scheme, so though it is in the stanza form, there is no particular rhyme scheme is mentioned. We can identify. For example, my sipping, laughed, laugh, buried, and edge. Nowhere we find a pattern of rhyme scheme. So that way, the stanzas are there, but no particular rhyme scheme is mentioned, is employed in the poem. So that way, Kamala Das poetry is full of autobiographical elements, and this poem is taken from her own autobiography. So Kamala Das, as a writer, has established herself as a very famous Indian English poet, and most of her poems are very very popular. And in her plays, in her poems, she talks about the women's feelings, women's experiences so candidly. She did not leave the emotional part of the woman. So whatever the woman feels, she has clearly stated without hiding any facts. So that way, as an author, she is very successful, and we all feel proud about her as an Indian English woman writer. She has made a mark in an Indian writing in English. So this poem, the punishment in kindergarten, really reminds us of our own past experiences during our own childhood. Also, we had such experiences, both good and bad, and how our teachers have scolded, and what are good memories and what are bad memories. Even at your adulthood, when you remember, Sometimes you may laugh, and some memories are so some memories are so sad that the moment when you remember them, you feel little uncomfortable. So punishment in kindergarten is, though it is an innocent child experiences, it has thrown light into the human psychology. So it also gives us a message that if the childhood experiences are not good, certainly the adulthood piece we may not enjoy. That's number one. The second thing is the teachers at the kindergarten level must be very much trained. How they should have good psychological background so that they never commit the errors like this. So with these things, let us finish uh, the poem, and you try to read it again and again so that you enjoy that poem. So in poetry, every word is very carefully chosen, and every word has its own weight. You just can't read like a prose, but pay attention, analyze the literal meaning and the figurative meaning so that you can understand it very better. So thank you very much. Have a nice time.